in season 2. But what made this even better is the fact that it still stayed true to the incarnation of the franchise. Yes, it incorporated Scooby Dum and it incorporated Scooby Dee, but again, it gave them more adventures. It stayed true to what the original story was. But again, the reason it's so good is the fact that it introduced the characters of Scooby Dum and Scooby Dee, who were embraced by the fan base. So that's why the Scooby Doo show is number 6. Now, at number 5, it's none other than, are you ready for this? The new Scooby Doo Movies. That's right, the new Scooby Doo Movies at number 5. Now, why would the new Scooby Doo Movies be number 5? Well, it's real simple. And, well, also, why would they be in the top 5? Again, it's real simple. They were the first of any animated show that I could think of by Hanna-Barbera that ran for 1 hour on Saturday mornings. You see, in 1972, Hanna-Barbera, basically Bill Hanna and Joe Barbera, decided to take the characters, to take the Mystery Inc. gang and pair them up with different groups or different celebrities, basically. Different guest stars and celebrities every Saturday morning. And the list of celebrities that were on here is like a who's who of Hollywood back then. I mean, you had Mama Cass of the Papas and the Mamas. You had Sonny and Cher. You had Jerry Reed. You had Dick Van Dyke. You had Sandy Duncan. And the list goes on. I mean, you even had some imitate. And get this. Most of the celebrities, if you read this online, did their own voices. So that's something to say. But like I said, the list goes on. But it didn't just stick to celebrities or Hollywood celebrities or musical celebrities or anything like that. No. In the second season of the new Scooby Doo Movies, not only did we still get the crossovers, but not only did we get the guest stars, the celebrities, like Davy Jones, and again, like Dick Van Dyke, and Tim Conway, and Jonathan Winters, and like I say, the list goes on. But we also got crossovers with characters from other shows. That's right. We got crossovers with Josie and the Pussycats, who was one of Hanna-Barbera's newest shows at the time. We got crossovers with Genie, which was a new Hanna-Barbera show at the time. We got crossovers with Speed Buggy. And think about it this way. Two of those episodes were kind of supernatural in their own way. I mean, if you go back to the beginning of when Scooby-Doo first began, not once would you ever think that the Mystery Inc. gang would even think of hanging out and talking like it's like a normal thing with a talking car. You wouldn't think about that. Nor would you think of them probably associating themselves with a genie or two. That's what I'm saying. But again, it didn't just, go with a crossover of these Hanna-Barbera characters. They also crossed over with other television and comic book incarnations. Comic book characters like, say, Batman and Robin, who were premiered twice, who guest starred twice. The Addams Family, another television show they crossed over with. Heck, they even crossed over with the Three Stooges, which I say were Hollywood celebrities. Laurel and Hardy, even though those guys were probably passed away at the time. They also, 2 times in a row. Here's the thing. Let me tell you this. There was a lot of characters, a lot of celebrities that guest starred with them twice in the show. The Three Stooges, Don Knotts, the Harlem Globetrotters. That's true, Harlem Globetrotters. And I think that's about it so far. Are of people that guest starred with the Scooby Gang in the series. So anyway, that is just just the amount of talent that came on board to be, take part in this 1 hour animated series that aired on Saturday mornings. And again, it didn't just limit itself to guest stars from the Hollywood side of things, or even the sports side of things when it came to the Globetrotters. It also had the crossovers with the Josie and the Pussycats and Speed Buggy and Genie. I mean, it was just, again, it was like a who's who of Hollywood and a who's who back then of Hanna-Barbera's mystery-related cartoons. So it was an unbelievable series. It still aired, I think, on Cartoon Network at times on occasions. And if you can't find it, go online and download the series. All you have to do is get a torrent. It's called the Scooby Doo Mega Pack, and you can find most of the series I'm talking about here on that Mega Pack. So that is something to look into, and if I was you, I'd look into it. Now, on to number 4. What is the number 4 series? Well, I might get some people flacking me about this and saying I'm wrong about it and it should be the top one. But I'm going to go with the original, Scooby Doo, Where Are You? The reason I go with this is because, well, what can I say about Scooby Doo, Where Are You? I mean, it went through many, many different name changes, from Who's Scared to Mystery Inc., I think. And it was a great idea for a premise, but it was a little dark in tone, and not a lot of kids at the time, even though it took off and became a big hit, and thus began the incarnations of different Scooby shows. Scooby Doo, Where Are You was a little dark and a little complex at times. I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. But still, it was a good show, and that's why I rank it at number 4. Again, I know a lot of people might say it should be ranked a little higher. Yes, in many cases it should be. But this is my countdown, and these are my opinions. And the reason I rank it at number 4 is because of its dark tone. But don't worry, I'll be making up for it with the cartoons I'll be talking about in just a little bit. Believe me, you'll like what I'm about to talk about. But anyway, Scooby Doo, Where Are You? A great introduction to the characters overall. Gave us a taste of what was to come and what the premise was going to be for all the incarnations. And that's why Scooby Doo, Where Are You? Is number 4. Now, on to number 3. Number 3, believe it or not, is the 2004 or 2003, I can't think of the year it came out, reintroduction of the Scooby-Doo gang to animation for the first time since a pup named Scooby-Doo tossed it into the gutter. And I'm talking about What's New Scooby-Doo. That's right, What's New Scooby-Doo basically was sort of a continuation of what we saw in the direct-to-video animated features, and was also sort of like a direct continuation of the original series. And believe me, this was actually a fun series to watch. And it really capitalized on what you saw in the movies, not just the animated films, but it capitalized on what you saw in the live-action films. You take Daphne, for example. Here's a character that really was kind of like a mix of what you saw before. She was still danger-prone and everything and would get caught. Excuse me. But she really knew how to accessorize. That was unbelievable. And I like how they play up Fred's ego in this series, as well as, because that makes him more of a comic relief than Shaggy and Scooby. And Velma, well, she kind of stays the same a little bit, but there's a difference about her that you could see as well. And Scooby and Shaggy, they're about the same, just as well too, but again, it was definitely a great update, bringing the